Hi, dear student. I hope you all are doing very well. And as you know that UPSC Mains 2026 is approaching, and the students who already qualified the prelims, they are so much in tension right now that how to approach the mains, how to do the proper answer writing so that we can attain good marks. I hope when you are preparing for the exam and you have already qualified the prelims, it means you have thoroughly gone through the syllabus, how many papers are there, what is essay topic and what could be possible the topic in essay, what is ethics, what is optional, what the total number of your mains writing, how many subjects you have to write. So I think you guys have already gone through this. If not, it is a time to be aware and be serious so that you can score good marks in your mains. And today I'm here for a special video. All the students who are appearing this year in mains or who wants to appear next year after cracking the prelims of 2027. This video is going to be one short solution that how to approach the mains. I know this, there are multiple institutions, multiple channels. They are telling about the mains. If you like their content, go and watch freely. There is no issue in that. But if you want and if you like the way I'm going to deliver this mains, so just follow and let's begin the topic. So today we are going to start UPSC mains answer writing guidance, tips and strategy, how to approach your mains. Now, I'll be bilingual so that students who are also watching me Hindi medium or Hindi speaking, they can also understand what I'm saying. So, जो हमारा मेन टारगेट है बच्चा वो ये है कि 2026 का हमारा जो मेंस है उसमें हमें आंसर को कैसे अप्रोच करना है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, why mains is important? Whenever you study about prelims, when you start preparing of UPSC, so generally all your faculties, all your teachers, respected seniors, they always tell you that complete your preparation according to the mains. Last 4 months dedicate for the prelims only, but till December you must focus on your mains oriented preparation. Because when you complete GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 thoroughly, then you are almost ready for your prelims. Only the prelims practice and the current affair plays major role after that. And why mains oriented study compulsory? Because mains is a game changer. Why I'm saying this? As per the UPSC aspirant, you need to aware about this, that the mains contain near about 1750 marks. Mains के पास total potential है आपको 1750 number देने का. In that, the single stage largely determines your final rank and often become the deciding factor between selection and the rejection. So sometime you see this, people used to say this, that if you qualify the mains, then your entry for the UPSC, IAS, IPS, IFS, anything is almost close to you. Kyun? Because mains is basically focus. Mains is basically a kind of stage. After that, a student is either selected or rejected because mains has a lot of weightage. तो इसको ignore बिल्कुल नहीं करना, इसको उसी potential से हमें पढ़ना है so that we can crack it. When we talk about mains, it is not just a test of information. Try to understand this. It is about that what is your ability to think, analyze, articulate, and most important, if you become a future civil servant, then how you behave. Every single thing, your thinking ability, your articulation, your analysis of a particular thing is in your mains answer. Why I'm saying this? Because when UPSC is taking mains, क्या उसका मकसद है आपसे mains conduct करवाने का? Why it wants कि आप answer लिखो बैठ के? Because UPSC ये assess करता है कि आप complex issues को कैसे बहुत छोटे छोटे components के through लोगों को समझा सकते हैं. दूसरा, UPSC ये भी examine करना चाहता है कि whenever you think of particular scenario in the society or in a particular event, तो उसके क्या क्या dimensions ऐसे जो हमारे लिए helpful हो सकते हैं. What will be the social, economical, political, ethical, क्या क्या dimensions होंगे उसके. Next, can you present a balanced, practical and logical solution with limited time? आपके पास 7 से 15 मिनट का टाइम है. आप 15 मिनट के अंदर एक कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वेश्चन को क्या तोड़ के उसका एक सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड कर सकते हो विद द राइट वे फॉरवर्ड, विद द राइट कंक्लूजन. दिस is what UPSC want to assess while taking your mains. Next, you need to focus on few things here. अब whatever the knowledge you have attained while preparation of 10 months of preparation or maybe 2 years of preparation, whatever the knowledge you have attained, that is very good. But can you structure that particular knowledge in a limited time, a suitable answer? Because when you are writing very poorly, when your answer is not organized, it indicates that the aspirant has lack of clarity, lack of vision. The aspirant doesn't know what to prioritize, what not to prioritize. And lastly, it tells to the examiner that what is your ability to think in a given time. If your answer structure is poor, that means the examiner, without looking you, analyze that this student is not able to handle the pressure of a civil servant in the upcoming future time. But whereas if your answer is very, very beautiful, well structured, then it tells the clear thinking, administrative maturity, logical reasoning, and decision making ability in a given time. That is why mains become very, very important. It also judge the student, that how the student is going to be in future. Next, try to keep this in mind. Knowledge gives you confidence. Answer writing gives you the rank. So if you are so much knowledgeable, it doesn't mean you're going to hold a rank. Because to get a name in a list, you have to be knowledgeable as well as the presentable skill. That matters a lot while writing the mains. Now, अब बात करते हैं कि भाई मेंस की इंपॉर्टेंस तो पता लग गई हमको कि एट व्हाट पर्टिकुलर स्टेज मेंस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प अस, मेंस हमें कहां तक ले जाएगा, मेंस क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे लिए. बट द पॉइंट इज हियर नाउ कि भाई जब हमें मेंस लिखना है तो हाउ टू अप्रोच अ पर्टिकुलर आंसर, एक आंसर को कैसे अप्रोच करते हैं. तो द फर्स्ट फॉर्मूला विच इज द फंडामेंटल फॉर्मूला, यू कैन नॉट इग्नोर इट. इट डजंट मीट व्हाट एनी पर्सन इज सेइंग. ये एक फंडामेंटल बेसिक ऐसा फॉर्मूला जिसको आपको मानना ही पड़ेगा. दैट इज पर्टिकुलरली कॉल्ड एज IBC फॉर्मूला. In this IBC formula, first is introduction, second is body, and third is conclusion. Try to understand किसी भी एक particular answer का एक structure ऐसे होता है. When you approach, whether you are telling a story to someone, जब आप किसी को कहानी बताते हो, so you try to begin your story with a kind of introduction. You try to tell the main content in the mid part, and in the end you try to conclude it. Even if it is a movie, even if it is a story, even if it is a mains writing, at every single dimension of life, you begin your thing with introduction, then you come to the main body, then you try to conclude your answer. In the same way, while writing the mains, you have to focus only on these three parameters. First, you have to be very particular while writing the introduction, then main body, and then conclusion. This is a fundamental and the backbone of your answer writing. You cannot consider it as an optional कि भाई इसको हम छोड़ देंगे, कुछ अपने नए पैटर्न पे शुरू करेंगे. So first you need to keep this in your mind. Second point here, whenever we talk about introduction, what is introduction and how to write introduction, this become a test now. Basically, introduction is your first impression. Your examiner is going to read your introduction, and then within the 3 line and 4 line, he will judge that how structured, how beautiful the answer could be in upcoming few lines and upcoming few paragraphs. So your introduction is the first impression. It should be brief, precise, directly connected to the demand of the question. This point is very interesting. Directly connected to the demand of the question. Most of the student get fail at this moment. They are not able to decode the answer question properly. They don't know what examiner wants you to write particular in mains. Most of the student get confused at this place, and they write whatever they know. And every single student who is writing mains, they are absolutely knowledgeable. That's why they are sitting in mains. So what makes difference between you and the second person who's sitting next to you? The only thing that you understood the question. When you understood the question, then you start introduction. That introduction should be very brief, precise, and directly connected to demand of the question. Because when you write introduction, it convey a message to the examiner that whatever question you have asked, I have understood, and that's why I'm giving this introduction. And that's why the line itself say, it is to tell the examiner that I have understood the question correctly. Now I can deliver my main conclusion and my main body of this particular answer. The second thing you need to understand, introduction cannot be more than 3 to 4 lines. Keep as much as precise the answer introduction, at least 1, 2, 3, maximum 4, but do not try to go beyond this because it will unnecessarily kill your time, and using extra word in exam, it's a killer. You cannot write a story at there. So try to understand. Introduction could be a definition, could be a constitutional provision, a fact or a report or a data point, a historical contextual background, a recent example or a current event. Begin your story, begin your introduction with this kind of thing. The most suitable part is here. You can begin your introduction with the definition of the question or with defining a particular event if the examiner is asking. But if you are not able to define, if you don't want to define, then you can start with constitutional provision, maybe a fact or a report, maybe a historical contextual background or recent example of current events. So, like, I would like to give you example here particularly. What if the question is asking like GS1 sociology, a particular question is coming, or maybe social justice, the question is coming, that what is the importance or how far do you understand the situation of women has evolved from the ancient time to the medieval, from medieval to the modern and the present world. Suppose this kind of evolution of the women conditions in the past history examiner is asking question. Then you can begin. You cannot define women here. You cannot define history here. You cannot define anything. So what you can do, you can put a data here that as per the NCRB report, as per the UNDP report, for example, as per the constitutional provision. So begin a story like this, or maybe you can start with a quotation. The quotation could be like this, that once, like a बहुत common quotation सुनी है कि जब एक महिला पढ़ती है तो पूरा परिवार पढ़ता है. So you can begin a kind of set of a kind of particular impressional line first. जैसे कि impression line जाएगी, examiner will attract and he kind seek attention, उसे मिल गई वो attention that yes, student wants to write something and something interesting he is writing right now. So begin a kind of a quotation of Vivekanand where he talks about women, the importance of women in society. And then you can, like after this quotation, comma inverted, then you can begin that from Rig Vedic phase to the present world, the women condition has been this, and then you can rest, nothing depends how you write main bodies. But introduction shall be like this. Eye-catchy, attractive, underlined, examiner just read the main point and try to highlight the points. Because your main point shall not hide within the paragraphs. It should be pop-upped. Because examiner is not going to read every single line here itself. वो देखेगा भाई कोई main चीज दिख रही है, हाँ चलो आगे बढ़ जाते हैं पढ़ के. Next, the main body. This is your heart of the question. After introduction, this becomes a second stage. This becomes the heart of the question. Because here is the where that place you are going to score the marks. अगर main introduction भी अच्छा है, main body में कोई फायदा नहीं लिखा आपने, तो होगा खराब. So what you have to do, you have to be focused while writing the main. अब क्या main body में क्या लिखना है, suppose करो देखते हैं. So this is a place where you score the real marks. Second, the body should be well organized, multi-dimensional and analytical. Key word is here, organized. You are going to write it absolutely. आप कुछ बच्चे नहीं हो अभी. Multi-dimensional, this is a place where students get confused. How to cover up multi-dimension? What is the meaning of this multi-dimensional approach of writing answer? So I am going to take this later on. अभी इसको खुद थोड़ी में करते हैं, but you need to focus. The body of your answer must be well organized, multi-dimensional and the analytical. Next, instead of writing a long paragraph, break your answer into structured point like subheadings for clarity, bullet points for the readability, flow chart and diagram wherever relevant, and example for the better understanding for the examiner. Need to implement all these kind of thing in your answer. And when we talk about this multiple dimension, as I've told you, students get confused here. So in multiple dimension, you can pick out the word social, political, economical, ethical, environmental, international, administrative. Multi-dimensional means you have to think a particular event in a multi-dimensional way. For example, AI, artificial intelligence, become one of the major challenges and the biggest resource of humankind. So what is the AI? AI impact of society, politically, economically, ethically, environmentally, internationally, and the administratively. Focus on at that particular dimension. So when you're approaching your main body, you have to be multi-dimensional student. Your approach should be multi-dimensional. You should not be like that. You're talking about on one point and just go on. Multi-dimensional लिखना पड़ेगा, तब आपको नंबर दिखेंगे वहां पे. But this is a challenge in a given time. और उस precisely उस given time में multi-dimensional सोच के आंसर को put करना कॉपी पे, that is the toughest challenge of the mains. Anyways, उसके सामने भी आएंगे. The last, which is closing argument, that is called conclusion. Conclusion again should be 3 to 4 line max to max. summarize in core argument, offered a practical way forward, reflect constitutional values, be positive and solution oriented. That should be focused. As being civil servant, अभी तो बने नहीं हो, बनोगे मेंस के बाद. So while writing the mains, your attitude neither shall be left or right. It should not be plus or minus. Try to keep yourself as much as neutral, and if not neutral, then little bit tilt towards the positiveness. You shall not look like a negative person is writing answer where he's looking everything negatively. You should be focused on this particular while writing any single statement. You need to keep calm your mind and think either neutral or reflect the positive aspect of something. If it is terrorism, so you cannot think positive here, right? You have to write a negative impact. उसमें कहानी अलग है. But if it is something like AI, so first talk about the positive dimensions of AI. Directly अगर negative dimensions पे आ जाओगे, examiner will understand this person thinks negatively. If you have ever been to SSB of the army, so they give you this kind of single statement. Like while watching this video, if I give you a single word, for example, kill, so your mind will definitely hit the negative part of this. The tiger kills the prey, right? Army people personnel kill the terrorist, police personnel kill the thief. But this kill can be used in multiple other ways, right? For example, that education can kill the poverty. Artificial intelligence can kill the exploitation of the labor. That point I'm saying that kill could be used in positive way. But terrorism, अब देख लो किस एंगल पे उसको यूज करना है. डिपेंडिंग टू डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू राइट दिस, बट ट्राई टू बी पॉजिटिव और न्यूट्रल. नेगेटिव कम होने की कोशिश करना. रेस्ट एग्जाम में विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस. एंड व्हेन इट इज अबाउट सजेशन, यू वांट टू गिव अ ग्रेट वे फॉरवर्ड अहेड कि भाई क्या वे फॉरवर्ड दिया जाएगा. देन गिव सम काइंड ऑफ रिफॉर्म्स, एनी गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव, कोट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल आइडियल्स, रेफर टू द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स, गिव फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड सॉल्यूशन. पास्ट नहीं चलेगा, फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड होना पड़ेगा आपको. So that's why never end abruptly. तुरंत खत्म मत कर देना आंसर को. And always close with a purpose. You're closing the answer with a purpose. You must be aware why you wrote introduction, why you gave the main body, and why you're concluding it. It should be crystal and clear. Then only you feel confident that I am writing a good answer in mains. Now I hope you understand these three. One IBC rule. After this IBC rule, let's move to the next step. The introduction, body, and conclusion हो गया. And how to approach this. अब आपको समझना क्या करके. For example, introduction. While talking about introduction, set the context and demonstrate understanding of the question. So introduction basically उसका aim ही क्या होता है that you have understood the question, right? Now key concept, definition बाकी सब समझा चुका हूं मैं आपको already. यहाँ body में क्या आएगा, main point, multidimensional, and conclusion provide the closure and the concise summary and way forward, and what you're looking in the futuristic approach of that particular question that has been asked. Now after this, here come the golden formula. Introduction, what is the issue? Body, why, how, impact, challenge, solution, and conclusion, what shall be the next. That's what I'm saying कि सबसे पहले क्या issue है, क्या impact पड़ेगा, क्या challenges होंगे, क्या solutions होंगे, and उसके बाद क्या होगा. That is what next futuristic approach, right? Remember, introduction attract attention, body earns the marks, and conclusion leave an impression. So just keep all these IBC rule as the fundamental backbone for your mains. अब इतनी बात समझ आ गई. अब आते हैं, let's move to the next rule of your mains. After IBC rule, the second rule which is very important for the students, that is 753 rule. What is the meaning of this 753 rule? If we start decoding it, so please you have to ensure your speed, structure, and substance. Your speed of writing, how you structure in a given time, and what you left the impact. That is what particular this rule talks about. 7 minutes maximum time per answer writing, thinking plus writing. We have two type of question in mains, obviously we know this. So we are talking about here, if any particular question is around your 10 marks, हम उसी को एक fundamental rule बना के चल रहे हैं, right? So 7 minutes maximum time per answer, thinking plus writing. Within 7 minutes you have to think, you have to write also. 5 key points you have to write at every single answer. That is what it is required. And third part, introduction plus body and conclusion. These three things you need to keep in mind. That 7 minutes is the only given time at which you have to think, you have to write it. Then 5 minutes, 5 points you have to write in the main body. And 3 IBC, introduction, body and conclusion. If you understand this 753 rules, then it means you are ready for the mains. But the task is not understanding how to write the mains. The task that, have you been writing from past 6 months or 8 months or 10 months? If yes, then only you can write this mains 26. If you think within 3 months you're gonna cop up with the speed, also the analytical skill, and also IBC rule, that is not going to be happen. You could be exceptional, but it is not possible for most of the students. 3 महीने के अंदर मेंस को कंप्लीटली प्रिपेयर कर लेना, आप आंसर राइटिंग के आर्ट सीख जाओगे, इट इज नॉट एन इशू, आप स्पीड पकड़ लोगे. बट दैट इम्पैक्टफुल आंसर विच एडिटर इज राइटिंग, दैट इज time taken process. So if any student who is appearing 26 this year, well and good. If anyone appearing 2027, I would say every single student by December your syllabus must be completed. GS1 to GS4, every single thing including your optional. Then every day you have to write one answer, and that one answer shall be checked by your mentor. If mentor is not available, do send me that answer, I'll check that for you. Till December you have to write, and after January, February आप हर दिन एक एक आंसर लिखना बंद मत करना, because the speed will get reduced. Before the prelims, 1 or 2 weeks before the prelims, you can stop writing the mains practice. But just after the prelims, if you think that you are in the list, start writing again. तो बस 2-3 हफ्ते गैप लेना राइटिंग से, अदरवाइज आपको 10 महीने डेली लिखना ही है. Then you become a great answer writing. Anyways, so अभी हमने जो बातें करी हैं, अब पर्टिकुलरली उसको हम देख लेते हैं. जो हमने 3 बातों को डिकोड किया है, 3 पार्ट स्ट्रक्चर. जो पहला स्ट्रक्चर उसे अपन क्या कहते हैं, इंट्रोडक्शन, जो कि आपका पहला इंप्रेशन है. अब इंट्रोडक्शन में हम क्या क्या चीजें कर सकते हैं उसको देखते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, द डेफिनेशनल अप्रोच, एज आई हैव टोल्ड यू, द क्लासिकल एंड द बेस्ट वे. Define your particular statement, define a particular point, whatever the examiner is asking. Define the statement, define this, define that. पहला क्लासिकल रूल यही है, अगर कुछ नहीं आता तो आप क्या करोगे, डिफाइन कर दोगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देखो, दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एंड इफेक्टिव मेथड, स्पेशली फॉर द क्वेश्चन दैट आस्क फॉर अ डेफिनेशन और एक्सप्लेनेशन और अ की टर्म. द इंट्रोडक्शन सिंपली डिफाइंस द कोर कॉन्सेप्ट एंड द प्रोवाइड ब्रीफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट. सेकेंड अप्रोच, the factual or the data based approach, this is called authority. When you're telling something, like simple defining something and telling something, it's different. So define मतलब just define something, तो आप किसी को समझा रहे हो, किसी को बता रहे हो, परिभाषित कर रहे हो उस चीज को. But when you're telling something, so it means you are actually telling, आप एक authority put forward करते हो. So when you're telling something, in that respect you begin your data, you begin your story, you begin your introduction with the current data. You give a kind of direct statement where person can get hurt also. It could be negative and positive. But क्या बोलते हो डायरेक्टली, अब किसी को कुछ बताते हो आप, तो जनरली आप एक अथॉरिटी में होकर बताते हो कि मैं बता रहा हूँ, प्लीज सुन लो. Similarly, when you talk about factual or data-based approach, that is called authoritative approach. In that authoritative, this method immediately establishes the significance of a topic by quoting a relevant fact, statistics, or report. It shows the examiner that the candidate is well versed in current data and not relying on the generic information. It indicates the authority of your knowledge here. Begin with the fact and data. You keep anything like AI example, जो आराम में बता देता हूँ आपको. AI for example came in the picture. So begin with this. 2026 AI Impact Summit hosted by Delhi. This was the result, and this is going to be impact. See the data के साथ. Next, current affair hook. This is very simple. Any topic associated with current affair, associate with current is simple है. This is called antidote और story based start. ये बहुत अच्छा होता है. क्या होता है बेटा, while more common for essays, a short impactful, ठीक है, antidote or story can be used in journal studies paper, especially in ethics or a case study. This method is effective for the capturing the examiner attention and the humanizing the topic. So basically कुछ ही टॉपिक पे कर देना, सब पे मत कर देना. ये एंटीडोट लगाओगे तो खुद का एंटीडोट हो जाएगा आपका. The second come the main body. अब मेन बॉडी आपको पता है, रियल कंटेंट यहीं पे होता है. प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ अच्छी होनी चाहिए, वेग नहीं होनी चाहिए, खराब नहीं होना चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे सब हेडिंग, बुलेट पॉइंट्स, नंबरिंग, फ्लो चार्ट, डायग्राम, व्हाटएवर यू कैन डू दिस. You can here also give challenges, impact on the solution in the pointers. This is going to be a well structured answer in the point of examiner, and he can give you the good marks here also. Next, lastly, as I've told you that जब भी आप बात करते हो मेन बॉडी की, तो मेन बॉडी में आता है मल्टी डायमेंशनल एनालिटिकल अप्रोच. इन दिस मल्टी डायमेंशनल, हिस्टोरिकली हाउ इट द थिंग इवॉल्व, पॉलिटिकली what is the government implication on that, economically what is the cost and benefit of this, social impact on the people, environmental, is it sustainable or not, ethical, is it justice, fairness or not, international, what is the global alternative, what is the global challenges because of this. So the art of, यहाँ पे लिखा है वैल्यू एडिशन का मतलब क्या है, यू कैन ऐड द स्पेसिफिक डेटा विच मेक योर आंसर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. कुछ भी रैंडमली लिख देना वेग है, विदाउट प्रूफ इररिलेवेंट. You have to justify your answer by the given proof, and that given proof cannot be from local sources. That given proof always must be from the government reports, economic survey, Niti Aayog recommendations, constitutional articles, Supreme Court judgment, committee report, government schemes, and the international indices or indexes. You just need to focus on that. Your answer, your point, whatever you are giving in this particular dimension, आप कोई भी dimension दे रहे हो, it shall not be vague or anything useless. It must be associated with any kind of point. What is the next point here? The part 3 of your answer. The part 3 of your answer is your conclusion. As I have told you, in this particular point, it is the final and last impression to your examiner. And in this particularly, your conclusion should be solution oriented, visionary, and the officer like touch shall be present there. As you are going to serve as an servant of the civil, in this particular manner, you have to focus some administrative terminologies. For example, you can use the multi-stakeholder approach, synergistic efforts, institutional reforms, policy imperative, participatory governance, and the sustainable framework. It means wherever you are writing the answer, you need to focus that your answer shall have that kind of terminology which indicates you as an administrator. But try to focus, it shall be applicable on the GS2 or somewhere in this kind of exam. You cannot use this kind of terminologies everywhere in exam. So you have to be focused while using that kind of terminologies. The next part is decoding your answer. When we talk about decoding the answer, that is the most interesting part. Why? Your examiner is already giving you the hint that what it is asking, what he or she is asking in the exam. UPSC always give you this kind of directives. For example, analyze, discuss, examine, critically examine, evaluate, comment, or elucidate. When examiner giving this kind of action verbs, this kind of directives to you in your question, it means the examiner wants that you have to write your answer accordingly. Now, UPSC has the tendency to use this kind of directive terms such as describe, define, discuss, explain, elaborate, illustrate, demonstrate, analyze, assess, compare, contrast, examine, comment upon, give an account of, to what extent, critically evaluate. In this all, you have to be focused that what is the core requirement of the examiner and how should be expected approach of your answer. I will not explain every single descriptive word here. I will only give you the kind of hint of that kind of directives. So there are basically 3 type of directives examiner gives you. First is descriptive directives. In this kind of directives, examiner generally want to know what and how, emphasizing on defining something, describing something, explain something, illustrate something, and elaborate or elucidate something. The second is your analytical directives, in which basically it wants to know that why we are writing, it shall be interlinkage, means you have to analyze and examine something. Then discuss, assess, and critically examine. I have to focus on every single aspect one by one. For example, if your examiner is asking to define something, in that define parameters, you have to define. Defining means that you are giving kind of definition of something that is exactly defining. For example, this is a kind of your marker. If somebody asks me to define this, I can easily define that this is a marker. But if somebody wants describe, it means somebody is saying that we have to focus on the main features of this particular marker. Similarly, explain, illustrate, and elaborate is indicating on the same parameter. In this, your examiner wants you to write about description. But when it is talking about analyze and examine, this is the analytical approach. Now you have to analyze this, how this is good, how it could be better than your traditional pen, how it could be better than your traditional pencils, what is the futuristic approach of this? It means I have to analyze every single dimension of this particular one marker. That is what examiner wants you. Similarly, the third directive is critically. When it is saying critically, it means it's a debatable. There should be some positive and negative aspect. What the students does basically, whenever they find the word critically, they think we have to write the negative about the exam, about the statement or question. This is not what examiner wants. Examiner wants you to write in three approach. Whenever there is a critically discuss, assess, evaluate, or critically analyze, if this word critically has been present in your question, first you have to follow these three steps. The step one, present the positive strength of the argument or the statement, whatever the question is. Second, explicitly highlight the negative limitations of particular thing. By if I'm telling about something, suppose I have a air conditioner in my room. If I'm explaining, critically analyze the air conditioning. So first of all, I have to describe air conditioner is something what is useful for the human for the time, coolant and all, different things I can write. Then I have to focus what are the negative impacts of that. And what is the way forward? Very simple term, if the way forward, that is cooler. Because I know that air condition is good for the cooling of the human body and the room. Temperature को maintain करने के लिए सही है. But there are natural impact. There is social impact of this, technological impact, economical not beneficiary. So there are multiple aspects of that. Electronic waste terms indicate here. But when I talk about way forward, then I have to focus on the coolers and all, because it is basically alternate solution to the air condition, less environmental effective. So चीजें आपको देखनी पड़ेंगी. So whenever I talk about critically discussion, so positive aspect के साथ आंसर शुरू करें, follow up some negative, uncover the negative thing in present in that positive aspect कि उसके पीछे कुछ और negative छुपी हुई हैं. Critically examine the role of Mahatma Gandhi in the freedom struggle. It doesn't mean that you have to only critically do the critics of Mahatma Gandhi here. In this, examiner wants you write the aspect of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Then you can uncover those kind of points which is basically, hampering the positive aspect of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And then you can conclude your answer with the positive aspect, balance approach. You cannot be futuristic in the history, right? So you have to focus on the balance. And one thing you need to focus while concluding or critically analyzing the statement or assess or examine, elucidate, जब भी आप कर रहे हो, you have to be focused. You cannot directly yes or no. Critically examine means you have to follow the balance approach. It means you need to use some qualifier terminology such as partially Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi is, ठीक है, या was, to a limited scope or the largely, or you must show the degree of truth in the statement by using this partial words. Do not directly focus on yes and no. That is the directly हाँ या ना वाली बात हो जाती है. And when it is saying comment, in comment that you have to give the brief analysis of something, right? Now the most interesting part here comes, as most of the students get confused. If you have to write 20 answers, for example, 20 questions are there, you have to write 20 answers. There would be possibility that you will not be able to decode few questions. In 20, might be 5 questions are out of your syllabus. You are not able to decode it clearly. You are not able to analyze and think what to write in this particular answers. At that time of point, my students, you have to follow a certain principle, and that the principle is basically called as brainstorming framework. 360 brainstorming frameworks, whatever the concept you have studied regarding that one single question which you are not able to decode in the exam, think throughout, think 360, whatever you can attain from a checklist of brain. कहीं ना कोई तो बात तो छुपी होगी. That point you have to figure it out and just write answer on that. I had given example in the classes also. I'm giving the example you also here. Imagine if I tell you to write about, for example, something which you never heard, that is Proxima Centauri. You might heard about this. थोड़ा और difficult करते हैं. You have to write about X-ray emission, black hole, white dwarf, black dwarf. Suppose if you're getting questions like this. Now you know this angle approaches you to the universal cosmology. आपको ब्रह्मांड में ले गई है. Now if you have no idea, but you know about something space, you know about something about star, you know something about black hole, you know something about Chandrasekhar limit, सुना ही होगा कभी ना कभी. So try to 360 rotate your knowledge. You will definitely get certain point, and then you can implement in your answer. For example, I have given there's the first framework is basically PESTEL approach, that is political, economical, social, technological, and the environmental and legal impact of that particular 360 brainstorming. Then the most interesting approach is, for example, temporal approach, stakeholder approach. अब इतने सारे approaches पे आपको energy नहीं लेना. It means that you have to think that particular question in multiple dimensional with using multiple approaches. There would be certain places where that approach get fixed. जहां पे approach fix हो जाती है, you just start writing, because leaving a blank sheet will not give you marks, but writing something might possible that you can get at least 2 or 3 marks. तो कोशिश यही करनी है आपको कि पेपर छोड़ना नहीं है. And what kind of approaches you can use? For example, this special approach can be used policy analysis, governance, social issue and geography के अंदर. For example, this stakeholder approach, citizen, government, NGO, governance, ethics, welfare, इसमें यूज कर सकते हो. जो contemporary and temporal approach है, that can be used in international relations. I had given one example to a student about this also. Like for example, if I tell you have to write the relationship between India and some country which you never heard, basically Brunei. चलो बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. India and particularly, let me give you example, Chile. So we know this, we never study about Chile and India relation, but we know what is the importance of Chile, where Chile is located, at which particular continent it is. It is highly highly productive for the your lithium reserve, right? तो कुछ ना कुछ तो याद आ ही रहा होगा. If you're getting anything and आपको IR पे आंसर लिखना है, first you have to make the balanced approach between India and South America. India is in South, South America is in South. India's policy is global South, leadership of global South. In that way, if for the Indian foreign policy, South America is important because both are the countries of the global South, and as India's approach wants to become the leader of global South, so Latin America could be the beneficiary for the India in upcoming future. In that regard, you have write something, at least कुछ तो लिखा. So it means that is particularly called as brainstorming. अब ये नहीं कि आप बिल्कुल ही जीरो होके brainstorming कर रहे हो, वो possible नहीं है. Brainstorming करने के लिए आपको multiple थोड़ी बहुत knowledge रखनी पड़ेगी. And as if you qualified the pre, I believe that you have that particular potential. Now, after this, when you did the brainstorming, अब आता है एग्जाम को complete कैसे किया जाए. The toughest challenge is not about IBC approach और 753 rules, ये सब आप कर लोगे. The thing is how to complete your answer within the given time by the UPSC. Now, I know this as I have written 2 mains. I have analyzed this, that while doing this kind of part here, जब भी आप ऐसे क्वेश्चन के एंड तक पहुंचते हो, if you completed your 15th question, 16th question, 18th question, so I know this, आप कितने भी एक्सपर्ट हो, लास्ट तक आते आते आपके हाथ में दर्द है और दूसरा दिमाग कम चलेगा, तेज भी चल सकता है आपका, बट द पॉइंट आपको लास्ट में टाइम कम मिलता ही मिलता है. सो हमें क्वेश्चन तो छोड़ना नहीं है. सो व्हेन इट इज द लास्ट 30 मिनट ऑफ योर एग्जाम एंड इफ क्वेश्चंस आर लेफ्ट, यू नो दिस, यू आर नॉट एबल टू टैकल आउट 4-5 क्वेश्चन से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन पढ़े भी करने के लिए, एट दैट पॉइंट you have to use this kind of technique. This is basically called as, you know, time saving visual tactics in UPSC. We generally use it. For example, maximize your answer with visibility point, not length of paragraph. Try to give heading, subheading approaches. अब चीजों को अब prediction जब दिखाना है एग्जामिनर को, then you have to use that kind of head, subheadings, spokes, diagrams. These kind of things you can use. Cause, effect, challenges, solution, dimensions. To indicate this, you can structure an answer like this. You have to write core issue. For example, core issue is your unemployment. What are the causes? Causes for the unemployment, no skilled labor. Second, effect. अब यहाँ पे है बेटा unemployment. This could lead to the also sometime inflation or something, whatever. What could be solution? Government initiative, प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, लाडली स्कीम योजना. Whatever you can write here, this directly here. Similarly, flow charts can be used here. In this particular, like I have given example, input, process, output and outcome. You no need to indulge yourself in the answer, because your examiner understood that it is must be the last 30 minutes or maybe the last 20 minutes where student has the potential, but he is not getting the enough time. That's why he depicted, he illustrated everything in front of us so that we can understand the student has the potential, but the given time was less for him. In that regard, the last 30 minutes could be game changer if you are not able to complete the questions. So last 30 minutes, please use the visuals, illustrations, by structure your answer in a multiple dimension, use the arrows. If there's a possible, you can also insert some maps, because you have to complete it. Like box your value addition, whatever you write you can box it. For example, case study for Relegan Siddhi case, water conservation successful. It means your examiner will understand this, that basically grab examiner attention instantly, highlights quality content and creates visual differentiation from the rest of the students. And rule, your point should not be hidden in paragraphs, so you can highlight your answer like this. And the final last 15 minutes of answer in mains, last 15 minutes are really toughest, because each and every single minute you can count there कि भाई अब तो आंसर अगर पूरा नहीं हो पाया फिर तो गया हमारा मेंस. फिर in last 50 minutes, 15 minutes, what you have to do beta, first do not panic and try to write full answer. You will only finish one and leave two completely blank, losing 30 marks. So you have to complete your answer. अपना आंसर तो complete करना ही पड़ेगा आपको. Switch to the semi diagrammatic mode. As I've told you, if you have a less time, some point, some diagram, some point, some diagram, some point, some diagram. You cannot only rely on diagram also. So semi diagrammatic skills. Write a 2-line intro. You can keep your introduction small. The first question introduction 4 lines, second 4 lines, 15 questions have 4 lines of introduction. Last 5 questions, if you have to complete the paper, you have to write 2 lines of introduction. That you need to understand. Convert the entire body into a massive mind map or structure the flow chart. Yes, whatever the body you are making, body जो लिख रहे हैं आप लोग, pointer, multiple dimension, analytical articulation, वो भी लिख रहे हैं आप. That should be. Now you know have less time. Please make it diagrammatic. पूरे क्वेश्चन को डायग्रामिक अप्रोच में ले आओ. सेंटर एरो, 5 एरोस निकाल के मल्टीपल डायमेंशन, कोड सोल्यूशन, इनपुट, आउटपुट, आउटकम क्या होगा बना दीजिएगा. Write 1 or 2 word bullet points to on the arrow of the flow chart. Whatever the flow chart you are making, in that particularly highlight only 1 and few words, 1 and 2 words which indicating, emphasizing the more your focused, pressure, जिस पे आप बहुत जोर डाल रहे हो संडे से बोलते समय या लिखते समय. दैट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कीवर्ड शैल बी रिटन इन फ्लो चार्ट. रेस्ट यू कैन लीव, एग्जामिनर विल अंडरस्टैंड. एंड ड्रॉप अ क्विक कंक्लूजन. ट्राई टू बी क्विक इन योर कंक्लूजन. तुरंत लिख के आगे बढ़ जाना है. अगेन 3 लाइन नॉट मैक्स टू मैक्स और 4 लाइन मैक्स टू मैक्स. बट इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दिस कि भाई बहुत ही खराब लिख दिया. ठीक है. एंड आफ्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑल दीज रूल्स, पैरामीटर्स, आई विश यू be able to write good mains answer. But that is only achievable when you are doing continuous practice. And my students, I'm telling you, this is an art. It is not like everyone can do it. Only few students can do this art. For that, you have to do a lot of practice. You have to write at least I'm saying, before any exam, GS1, GS2, GS3, पेपर 4 योर और मे बी ऑप्शनल एसेज, कुछ भी लिखने से पहले, बिफोर सेटिंग इन द एग्जाम, यू मस्ट हैव डन द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ एटलीस्ट, आई एम सेइंग 1000 क्वेश्चंस. एटलीस्ट कम से कम 1000 क्वेश्चंस के प्रैक्टिस विद मेंटर एंड करेक्टली एग्जामिन्ड कॉपी शुड बी लाइक दिस. आप लिखे जा रहे हो. इट इज नॉट लाइक राइटिंग द कॉलेज आंसर्स. नो, ऐसा नहीं है. यू नीड अ प्रॉपर गाइडेंस ऑन दैट. If you have any mentor, I would say go with that mentor and just follow whatever he's telling. If you do not have any mentor, I would only say one thing: just drop me your answer. I will not be able to check your complete answer. Just drop me your one answer and I'll try to tell you that wherever you are making mistakes before your mains, it shall be not there. So we have at least, I believe that September will be the month when mains exam will be taking place. So it is your July, August and 10th day of June. So still you have collectively 70 days or 60 days, let's example. In that 60 day, if you're writing every day at least 3 answers, so by 60 day, it will be around 1800 answer के आसपास आप लिख पाओगे. If every day you are writing 3 answers, so in particular month, you might be writing your, you can understand, तो ज्यादा ही हो जाएंगे बेटा. 900, yes, and 2 months 900, and it will be near about 1800 answer. The point is not about writing 1800 answer. The point is about when you are writing your first answer, it is correctly examined, checked, and what you should not do must be told to you. Then only you can write the good answer. So go and follow up your mentor ideas and just break the mains. I hope you guys get succeed in this. See you in the next one. I'm going to bring this mains oriented videos for you guys till your mains has not got completed. I'll try to bring that. For example, let's pick up GS1. In GS1 there is a multiple section, for example world history, geography, art and culture, Indian history, and society. So I'll try to bring 30 minutes of video for a single subject. I'll bring 1 and 2 question which is asked in PYQ mains, and what should be the right approach of writing that answer. I'll tell you in that, by which you can do the practice, and I hope you cross the main, and then I'll guide you for the interview also, right? So now bye bye, take care, time is very less, do the hard work, see you in the next one, bye bye.